Afternoon.
Are you right? I'm good, thank you.
Afternoon, guys. So when we're ready, Carve, you can away yourself.
Ben, Gareth just told us that the England squad is like a family. Does it feel like a family at the moment?
Yeah, obviously, like the gaffer said, there's going to obviously be disagreements between the squad. Obviously, it's very, club football is very passionate, and especially between Liverpool and Man City, obviously fighting for the title as they have done over the last few years. Passion's going to run high, but obviously it got squashed yesterday. And yeah, we've moved on. We trained this morning. Training was, good, the same as it would be normally, and the change room seemed pretty normal this morning. So as far as I'm concerned, and everyone else, I'd say, it's been squashed and we've moved on today.
Did you actually see what happened yesterday?
No, I didn't see. No, I was one of the later people to turn up yesterday, so I actually missed it. So that's a pretty easy one for me to answer.
Were you at the team meeting yesterday?
Yeah. So the meeting happened last night. And Gareth obviously spoke about, the situation and spoke about what he thought, and he also wanted to know what we thought of it as well. And Joe and Raheem obviously got the chance to talk as well, which they both wanted to do. And for Raheem, it was obviously he wanted to apologise, and Joe wanted to get stuff off his chest as well. And that was it done. Then we had the meeting and we moved on. And since that, obviously it's not been spoke of, and we're very focused on the football now.
Are all the players happy with the way this has been dealt with?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we had the meeting yesterday and Gareth was keen. He didn't want to make a decision himself. He wanted to make sure we come to the right decision with the leadership group. So obviously it got spoke about between the leadership group and Gareth, and the decision's been made and we're all very on board with that. And yeah, like I said, we're moving on now to the football.
And what was Raheem like at the meeting? What did he say? Obviously,
he was apologetic. He said that's not in his nature, which it's not, but we all know as football players that emotions can run high. Obviously, there's no one trying to, make excuses for him, including himself. But, obviously yesterday or 2 days ago was a very emotional game, and two great sides battling it out. And like I said, things are going to get heated, and they've both moved on and they've both, squashed it. And again, like I said, we're moving on now to the football.
Do you have sympathy for Raheem?
Obviously, that's a difficult one to answer, but again, Raheem's come out and said what he thought and very apologetic, and we're in the change room this morning, everyone's moved on. The football's the focus now. Obviously it's a big game on Thursday, we need to win to qualify, so that's fully where our heads are at now.
And how is Joe?
Joe's himself, he's good. Obviously it's one of them things that can be quite difficult to overcome, but Joe's a great character and he's done really well, and training this morning, him especially, he was himself, and to be honest with you, it wasn't really anything that was on anyone's mind this morning. We were very focused on the football.
Gareth also said that he was getting quite annoyed about the fact that information seemed to be leaking out from the squad. Do you think that is a problem? Do you think he's right to be worried about issues of trust and confidentiality within the squad?
No, definitely not. Obviously, we're a very tight squad, like he said, but when it's not just the team in there, there's a lot of people that work at the hotel involved as well. So it's not just a team thing. It happens at club football as well. Stuff does always seem to maybe potentially come out, but as long as we have full trust and the stuff that needs to stay confidential between the team does, then then we're happy. So like I said again, it's a very important game Thursday, so we're looking forward to that.
As far as your teammate James Maddison is concerned, this is the third time he's been in the squad. Do you think he's ready to play for England now?
Definitely. Obviously, look at his club form. Leicester in general, but especially Madders, he's playing very well. He's got a good thing going on with ours up the top of the pitch, and he's very focused now. He's coming away again with England, and he's very happy to be here and looking forward to hopefully getting an opportunity to play for England.
And your teammate James form this season. Do you speak to him about England, and have you tried to convince him to reconsider his retirement?
Well, Vaz, obviously, he's his own person, as everyone knows. And obviously we have a laugh and a joke with him. We say, you're doing really well with the club. What are your thoughts? And he doesn't really get into it with us. Him and Gareth have obviously spoken. They've come to whatever decision they've come to at the moment, and that's between them. And obviously for everyone else to get involved would be silly, really. Obviously, Vards, like I said, Vards and Gareth have spoken, and that's that.
Just going back to the Gomez Sterling for a second, you've been involved in some big games, emotional games. You said that the Sunday's game was emotional and this sort of thing can happen. Have you ever known it to be 48 hours after a game that still there's emotions running high between two players?
Well, yeah, obviously it can take a while to get over a loss, especially when there's such important losses like that. And again, I keep going back to the point that, it is a very emotional game, and I think people forget that. And of course, we're going to make mistakes as players, but the main thing is now that we've moved on as a team, and again, like I said, we're very focused on the game Thursday.
In that game on Thursday, Gareth has just told us, he mentioned it 2 or 3 times, that the squad is united. It was united in the decision to leave out Sterling. It's a united squad. I suppose you have to show that on the pitch on Thursday, don't you? Of
course, yeah. Everyone's going to be watching us Thursday, and without this all coming out, it was still an important game nonetheless as well, because we need to play well to qualify. So, and of course, again, it's the 1,000th game for England, so which is another big thing. So we're trying to look forward to Thursday in a positive light. Obviously, it's a massive occasion for English football, and hopefully we can get a win for that. Has the gloss been taken off that 1,000th game and all the celebrations around it by what's happened? No, not at all. I think come Thursday, that'll be all everyone's talking about, the 1,000th game. There's going to be a lot of fans there that are all very excited to watch us play, and hopefully we can put on a good show for them. And what would it mean to you to play in that? I mean, I suppose growing up, England meant everything to you as a boy. What would it mean to you to be playing in this game on Thursday? Obviously, at the moment, I don't know if I'll be playing, but, I would love to play in that game, as would everyone else in the squad. So, we'll see when we find out the team, but play or not, obviously I'm going to be very happy to be involved in such an occasion.
Ben, we understand that no one's revealing the details of anything, but people try and get an understanding, and it's being played down as not being a big ruckus, as it were, in a sense that after a bit of an altercation on the pitch, that the opening gambit was a way of playing down the situation that went a bit wrong and was misinterpreted. Is that the idea you got from it?
No, sorry, Kerry. Ben said he wasn't there, so he's not going into detail on that.
Okay.
Next question.
In terms of one thing then, we've talked about the golden generation, and they've gone on to talk about how the club divides had been a big part in why they didn't reach the success many really expected to reach. Has the message been quite clear from Gareth Southgate in these last hours that if you can't leave your club rivalries behind you when you come here to St George's Park, you can't put on an England shirt?
It hasn't even been mentioned today. Obviously yesterday, like I said, we had the meeting last night, and that meeting was purely just on Raheem and Joe trying to get their points across so that it could be completely squashed. And then since that meeting, it's not been mentioned in the changing room or with Gareth. So since last night, like I said, it's literally just been focusing on the game Thursday.
What was the message from Gareth in that meeting?
Like I said, he just wanted to make sure that he came to a decision which was important for everyone in the team. He didn't want to make a decision himself. He wanted everyone to be on board with it, and that's why he made the decision with the leadership group, and the decision they've came to is one which everyone's on board with.
Would you like Raheem to stay in that leadership group after this has died down?
To be honest with you, I don't know who the leadership group is. I'm not in the leadership group, so I don't know that answer.
But is Raheem an important leader in this group, and do you expect him to continue to be, I think?
Of course, yeah. It's very easy to forget how much Raheem's done positively for English football over the last year or two. So, he's made a mistake, but he's still a very big character in the dressing room and a very important character for us in the dressing room, especially when you look at what he's done over the last few years.
This group's already been tested. We had the racism that you all had to undergo and endure with that leadership group, you all coming together. You've had this now, just in the last 24 hours, going into an important match. How much does that make you understand that there is a clear line of communication, and how much does that help you to go forward?
I think it does help us a lot. It's very easy to look at it in a negative light, but obviously with the Bulgaria game and then what's gone on over the last few days, I think especially with how close we are as a squad, it's very easy for us inside it to spin it into a positive, and it is going to make us stronger, hopefully going into the summer, if we can win these next few games.
And for you personally and your form and how much you're growing this season? What does it mean to be part of this camp, and how much has your time here helped you develop as a player?
Yeah, massively. Obviously, playing for England is the bigged honour. Been asked it a lot recently, but it is, it's a massive thing to play for your country, and it is helping me with my Leicester form as well. Obviously, I come here, play with different players, learn different techniques and styles of play, and obviously I go back to Leicester very confident, and likewise the opposite way around. I come here very confident off the back of good Leicester form as well.
Ben, Gareth has made a big thing about harmony in the camp. Is this the biggest test, you think, to the spirit since you've been involved with the England squad?
Do you know what? I wouldn't even say so, no. I know I keep going back to it, but it does literally seem like, I know it's not, but it does seem like it's been forgotten already. Today it literally hasn't been spoken of, and training this morning was the same way it would be if there was an incident or not. So again, we're very focused on the game Thursday, and today that's all we've been thinking about.
So there's no stony silences, the banter's been as normal? Literally
been completely as normal today.
How hard is it to separate those inter-club rivalries?
Like I said, obviously, you don't want to take the edge away from club rivalries because it is what makes football great. But again, you come here and you would like to put things aside, but sometimes it's not that easy. I think we're very quick to forget that you should come here and be all pally-pally, especially after such a big game. But these things can happen, and like I said, they've both spoken, they've squashed it, and I think we're ready to move on now.
And from a personal point of view, England are on the verge of qualifying for what would be your first major final. So how satisfying and exciting is that? Yeah,
obviously personally very. Obviously I'd love to be involved in a major tournament. That's something everyone wants to be involved in. But as a team as well, we've just got to focus literally on the next game as it comes. And that next game is Thursday, and we're very focused on getting the win.
Any further questions in the live section? No, we'll move on.